when my wife was following some exercise video,
Yeah.
with like a female instructor,
Yeah.
the sounds that the instructor was making,
Yeah.
it sounded damn sexual.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Then do you watch also or what?
I mean,
You're in the peak.
I stopped my workout. I was like, what are you watching?
Now, before the next episode of the Yalabat podcast, we want to tell you about an exciting project that's been brewing at Folklory called Words of Wisdom. So, what's Words of Wisdom? Words of Wisdom is an initiative to capture and share invaluable life lessons from 60 Singaporean seniors aged 60 and above for SG60, Singapore's 60th birthday. In the lead up to that milestone, we'll record 60 one-on-one podcasts, or what we call Folklories, with seniors from all walks of life. In these podcasts, they'll share what they've learned about love, relationships, and their careers in the last 60 years. We'll launch these podcasts as a Words of Wisdom playlist in time for next year's celebrations. Think of this as an audio time capsule which will preserve the wisdom of our senior citizens for future generations. This project is kindly supported by our Singapore Fund, but we also need your help. We need you to identify and nominate seniors we should interview as one of the chosen 60. This can be a friend, family, or even a loved one who you think has an interesting life story that should be immortalized in the folklory. So to submit a nomination, or if you need more information, check out the Words of Wisdom microsite link in the description. And now, on to the podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Yala, your thrice weekly podcast where we talk about the hottest news with a touch of what, Terrence?
Good old humor.
Good old humor, man.
Yeah.
How has the week been, man, Terrence?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
The weather has been a lot more tolerable these few days.
Yeah.
How about you?
Okay, good. Just gearing up because I'll be flying off tomorrow.
Is your pilgrimage to go and see the Pope?
Yeah, correct.
Your personal pilgrimage. You want to jump in front of the queue.
Yeah, exactly.
From all the Singaporeans.
I'm not going to wait for him to come to Singapore. I'm going to go to his home ground, man.
Find him.
But no, we're actually going for one of my wife's best friend's weddings. But yeah, it'll be like the final trip before our lives will change in September. I'll be away for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Make sure you hold the fort as well as I did the last time, when you went away, and we got a slew of interesting comments.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Remember?
That's right. Yeah.
You went away.
You really fumbled the bag, as they say. Fumbled the bag.
People were calling us sellouts, misogynistic and all.
Yeah. So
we see Terrence, when I'm gone, see how that pans out.
Yeah. We're still trying to line up some guest hosts and everything.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can confirm a couple. So the cadence will be slightly affected on the podcast. But, okay to take a break once in a while, especially because the recording of our live show will be coming out the end of this week, right? So it will, at least, it'll feel like a milestone. It'll feel like something different as well.
Yeah. And there will be episodes, but it'll just be 2 weeks. What's the saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah. Usually other people say that. You don't say that of yourself.
I mean of the podcast, not just me.
Oh, yeah, correct. Okay.
Terrence, come on,
No,
Terrence.
I mean, but I just literally said that there might still be episodes of the podcast, just slightly different format.
Yeah, slightly different format. Correct.
It's okay, yeah.
It's okay, man. It's okay. But yeah, I'm also enjoying the weather. I just love this kind of grey weather.
Yeah.
It's great. But anytime there's grey weather in Singapore, the coming weeks will just be hot as shit.
Yeah, it will.
Right.
It's always hotter after the rain.
It's always an ebb and flow.
Yeah, correct. Quite relevant to what we're talking about, about
that is
weather
true.
And weather patterns and everything.
That is true.
Yeah. But before we jump into that topic, what do we, as usual, always want to say?
That if you enjoy this podcast, and if you're new to this podcast, please do remember to follow us on social media. Wherever you're listening or watching to us now, just hit the subscribe button because it tells the algorithm that, we make some decent content.
Yeah.
And if you could tell people who may not have heard about us, that would be great too. And if you want to work with us,
go check out ministryoffunny.com. You'll find information about all our projects, all the different things that we do. And you also find a way to actually contact us and talk to us.
I mean, we've been getting some interesting people reach out for a whole bunch of different ideas. So keep them coming, man. Keep them coming. But yes.
Yeah, but let's jump right into this topic, which, has been on people's minds last couple of weeks,
Mm.
and some updates and progress in what has been going on. In some of this progress in what has been going on. Literally something
Just
outside
dropped
the office is dropped outside. So we're going to check that out. But yes,
Yeah.
what is this topic?
It is the news that dropped yesterday morning. I guess.
Well, the
I'm
pun,
guessing.
that pun. Too soon, Harish.
Oh
Too
shit!
soon.
Sorry.
Too soon.
Yeah. That was released. That was published yesterday morning.
Yeah.
I'm guessing there was a press release, but there was also a Facebook post by Singapore Airlines on early morning of Tuesday, 11th June. Literally at 8:59 a.m.
Yeah.
I guess maybe they're trying to hit the 9 a.m. crowd lah. So it was the news of Singapore Airlines compensation offers to SQ321 passengers who were affected lah. So essentially, what they communicated in that is that they are fully committed to providing support and assistance. They have sent out offers of compensation to passengers on 10th June, so the day before.
Yeah.
And basically for passengers with minor injuries, they have been offered US 10K in compensation. For those who sustained more serious injuries, they are giving US 25K upfront to address immediate needs, as well as putting out an offer to discuss a more suitable compensation offer once the passengers are okay and ready to chat.
Yeah.
And then all the airfare will be refunded to all passengers. And all the passengers also received 1K Singapore dollars each to deal with their immediate expenses after they departed in Bangkok.
Yeah.
So for those who are injured, SIA has been covering all the medical expenses, arranged for family members and loved ones to fly out to Bangkok where requested. So they also said that all passengers should have received their offers, along with information on how they may proceed and how they can get in touch if they had questions or queries.
Yeah.
And that was posted at 9 a.m. I mean, it's smarter to sign off, first posted on 11th June 2024, 900 hours, GMT plus 8. So that was the announcement.
Yeah.
A lot of newspaper outlets in Singapore and abroad have covered it. But what when you saw that, what was running through your mind?
I mean, the most immediate thing was at first I thought they were offering 10,000 USD for everyone, every passenger on the flight.
Yeah.
Apparently that's not the case. It's only those who sustain at least minor injuries, right? But actually the thing is we don't know how do you define minor injuries, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things about even car accidents and all, sometimes that whiplash and all that, all the effects of the whiplash and everything that you feel can take a while to actually show its symptoms on your body. That's the kind of surprising thing. Like sometimes you, even after a very bad car crash, you can walk out and you feel perfectly fine, nothing going on. But only like a few days later or something, suddenly your neck starts hurting and all that. And I'm saying this from personal experience also, like being involved in car accidents and stuff like that. So it's I mean, while the injury might appear minor at this stage, we're still only about 3 weeks since the incident.
Yeah.
You just want to make sure that there's no longer term impacts on anything in your daily life, right?
Yeah, because building on that, apparently there was an article on Straits Times also about one of the passengers, Mia Kang. And I mean, her name is public because she and husband she and her Singaporean fiance were on board. She suffered some injuries. They set up a website, flight321help.com, because that she saw 3 doctors before she was diagnosed with 1 burst fracture and 8 compression fractures in her spine. She said the first doctor she saw concluded that there was nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But the later 2 said her injuries may leave her with a hunchback for the rest of her life.
Oh, man.
So she set up the website because she felt that, if it wasn't her fiance's father who advised her to get like second or third opinions, she would just have settled for the opinion of the first doctor, which is that there was nothing wrong.
Yeah.
And that's scary as shit, man. So I mean, I think that's why they were saying. So there is a seems like there is a bit of ambiguity what defines a minor injury or major injury,
Yeah.
which I assume is part of the conversations they're having with these customers. And I think they also sought the input from the hospital that the passengers were treated at.
Yeah.
And for the ones that are more serious, it's 25K US upfront with more discussions to come. So, I mean, what have you seen online about how people are reacting to these offers?
I mean, even not even among people, but even between the different news media outlets, right? I think obviously, you get the SQ will give you the quite standard, or SQ and CNA will give you quite standard
SQ.
regurgitation. Straits Times?
Yeah.
Straits Times and CNA will give you the quite usual regurgitation of what was posted, right?
Yeah.
But you see, like the Reuters article, for example, talks a little bit more about the fact that the Montreal Convention, an international agreement that makes airlines liable for physical injuries. If passengers file a lawsuit, the airline cannot contest damages up to about $175,000 USD. But if greater damages are sought, Singapore Airlines can try to limit the liability, right? By proving it took necessary measures. What it's saying is that it's still a very early stage. We haven't concluded fully whether there's any further liability on SQ's part. So it might be, assuming that if they take that 10,000 USD, they also probably have to sign some form that says they won't sue the airline. They lose all they lose the ability to sue the airline, right? So that's what I'm guessing, and I think what we're seeing in some of these other articles is saying that it might sound like a good deal on paper, but actually you think about the larger picture, it might not be as good a deal as it looks like.
Yeah.
That's one. And then like even the South China Morning Post, I can't access the article because it's behind the paywall, but the headline literally is SQ offers the victims at least $10,000 in compensation, and then they put generous ? In air quotes.
China Morning Post, always stirring shit.
Yeah. So it's even between the different media outlets, you can see that some are sort of just putting information out there, but some are still saying that maybe there are some people who are still questioning this.
Yeah, and I mean that was also something, because when I was reading articles, I recall when we did the previous episode on this, that this number that airlines can't contest damages up to a certain amount. I was thinking, actually I can't remember it. So I also Googled and found the Montreal Convention. And it is interesting that none of the local articles mentioned that. Because it is a huge ass thing.
When you say local, you mean like local publications?
Local publications.
Okay,
And I say that even from our own experience, when we went through liquidation, which of course is very different, but it's still in the legal world of how companies operate. There were things that we learned along the way that we had no idea about. And if someone were to get impacted by a liquidation now, and they come to us, there's so much that we can share about what we learned, right? So the Montreal Convention, I mean, the term literally, it's under the Article 17, liability of the carrier and extent of compensation for damage. I'll read it out because it's something worth noting. The carrier is liable for damage sustained in case of death or bodily injury of a passenger upon condition only that the accident which caused the death or injury took place on board the aircraft or in the course of any of the operations of embarking or disembarking. So they say bodily injury, which, I mean, death is quite black and white, Bodily injury, for it to be that explicit and that open-ended, is a bit surprising. Because I can imagine, like, when people are offered, two options, of course, this would mean that you have to get a lawyer. You have to get legal representation. In Singapore, they don't allow class action lawsuits, right?
I don't know about don't allow, but
or it just doesn't happen often. Because in the US, I can imagine there'll be lawyers out to just say, I will represent all of you and fight the case, right? So it's interesting, because when you look at the context of that, then the 10K for minor injuries, you probably, I'm pretty sure you have to sign off any option to contest it, right?
We don't know. But the Financial Times does have a section where they talk to a law firm that advises everyone to seek legal advice before signing anything with Singapore Airlines, and then they ask Singapore Airlines about it, and Singapore Airlines responded that we regret that we are unable to comment on the views of other lawyers, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, we are wading into the corporation versus individuals territory already, where I think it gets really dicey, and I do agree with this feedback that you should seek legal advice before you sign anything. Not that you're trying to squeeze more money out of it, but I think a lot of people online are rushing to say what could SQ have done any different or any better, right? Is if it in the event of clear air turbulence and all that, there's nothing anyone can do. But the truth is, nobody really knows right now until the investigation's over, and we're not pilots or experts in that field either. Maybe there's something in the protocol or what that needs to be observed. If that wasn't properly observed, I don't know. We don't know that, right? And we gotta let the investigations run their course. But until then, I feel like a lot of online commenters are just sort of speaking out their asses when they keep insisting that there's no liability on SQ's part.
Yeah. And I mean, generally the feedback online has been very positive.
Yeah.
Especially on SIA's Facebook posts and all.
Yeah.
And I mean, okay, I'm an ex-employee of SIA. If you're new to the podcast, yes, I worked for SIA and Scoot for a total of almost 5 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are an amazing airline. But at the same time, I think just because you have a fondness for the company, you almost cannot see them as a person. Like if you're dealing with someone and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to sue this person, there's one thing that I've learned, like a corporation is a corporation.
Yeah.
And you cannot see it as the same person as, oh, you don't want to hurt them and all. And in this case, there's a stark difference between SI in this case versus a company that's really doing some fucked up shit. In this case, this clear air turbulence happened. Yeah, we don't know for sure whether it's undetectable or not, but it feels like a freak accident.
Yeah.
So it's not say SIA, but for all credit to them, they were breaching protocol or something.
Yeah.
It's just a shit thing that happens.
Yeah.
Right? So we shouldn't vilify them. But at the same time, people should also know their rights and what they're entitled to.
Yeah.
Because like what you alluded to earlier, these kind of injuries, you never know how it might impact you down the road.
Yeah.
Right. So but that's why it's curious why the publications didn't mention any of it, because it feels like a logical thing to put there.
Yeah. Or at least ask, right? Ask about,
Yeah.
But that's the thing, I mean, that's the state of a lot of the media and the mainstream publications.
Because were you aware of the Montreal Convention and even the fact that airlines cannot contest up to claims of that amount before this?
No, I had no clue.
No, right? Yeah, I also didn't know. I think many people don't know unless you have been impacted in a way like this.
Yeah.
But I mean, to SIA's credit, not to just say people are entitled to your rights, find out whether you can get more. I think in terms of the checklist of things they did well,
they
did it well. In some way they were very clear. And even for the customers, there was that one Australian couple who's the woman in the couple has unfortunately suffered a very traumatic injury. I think that was the couple where the husband was quite vocal about not hearing anything from SIA.
Yeah.
But since then, SIA has been in touch. They're covering the medical expenses, and so I think SIA has done a lot of things well. About taking care, and seems like the customers have been kept in touch. I know the last podcast we were talking about how it feels like they're not giving as much info.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I think being very proactive about the compensation quite quickly after is good.
Yeah, at least there's information out there.
Yeah, at least there's information.
And I do want to, although I was shitting a little bit on some of the media coverage on this, right? I think CNA at least did a little bit of an extra step where they asked SIA about, they pointed out SIA did not say whether the crew members were affected by the turbulence, whether they received similar compensation offers, right? But that could be part of their insurance or their employment package, something But at least, there's someone, this CNA was asking, was thinking about that. But for you, I mean, just based on what the compensation package is and all that, do you think because the passengers were not injured, maybe traumatized but not injured or anything, right? They're receiving basically a full refund and 1,000 Sing dollars.
Yeah.
Do you think that's adequate for them?
I I mean, it's better than what I wouldn't say better than I expected. I think it's okay lah. It's okay because again, one of those things I don't know how it impacts people, like just mental trauma wise.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
guessing those 62 seconds must have been quite harrowing lah. So I don't know whether it's enough. You?
It sounds. I mean, yeah, it is very traumatic, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you would classify it as like a near death event,
Yeah,
right? Because someone actually did die,
Yeah.
and a lot of people got like really debilitating, life affecting injuries, right?
Yeah.
Next to you, the person next to you could have been that person, So it is very traumatic. I mean, you hear stories about soldiers in Afghanistan and all that who see things and all, and it affects them, right?
Yeah.
$1,000 is not going to get you like more than a couple of sessions of therapy, to be honest.
That's
so
true,
I'm a bit like, yes, they were not physically injured that way, but it was really such a traumatic thing. And don't know. I mean, if I was one of the passengers, I'd be like, that, and also the flight. I mean, ultimately was also delayed, right? So it barely covers, the time as well spent there.
In fact, the $1,000 amount apparently is based on like aviation standards lah.
Yeah.
For the amount of delay, which I mean, yeah, to your point, there was even another CNA article just talking about how more people in Singapore are seeking treatment for fear of flying after the turbulence incident.
Yeah.
It's called aerophobia lah.
Yeah.
So yeah, actually now that we speak about it, that $1,000 thing, I mean, I'm sure if they had to spend a night in Bangkok and all, it would have been covered. But it's just to cover expenses during that time, as opposed to needing some other things sorted after that.
Yeah.
Maybe if they had another flight in 2 weeks' time, they're like, I don't think I'm in a state to fly.
Yeah.
It's borne on their own expense. So maybe like when we talk about it, maybe it does feel a little lower.
Yeah, therapy. I mean, therapy to heal your mental traumas also is not cheap,
Terrence, just this mental therapy thing.
Hey, look, our new prime minister is all about mental health, mental wellness. I think it should be a priority, especially in traumatic incidents like this, Even if it was a near miss or something, it still leaves a scar.
Yeah.
And like I think it's they can't dismiss it that way,
I mean, you think about it, like I fucking hate cockroaches, right? I hate cockroaches. I don't know what.
Scared, you're scared of cockroach.
I'm scared. I hate and I am scared. I've thought multiple times over the years that I have overcome my fear of cockroaches.
Yeah.
And I think, you know what, I can deal. I see a cockroach, everything just disappears. Yeah, I just freaked shit out. And I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe there was something that happened when I was young. I don't know. But those sort of things, like I think everybody has certain things that it comes back to haunt you.
Yeah.
Right. And like flying, even though it's still a very safe form of transport, I think like what you said, the near death experience. It's like, sometimes when you think you forgot your phone or something, there's that momentary, like
balls drop.
Yeah, balls drop kind of moment. So this is probably like 100 times
Yeah.
So yeah, it just feels like
Yeah, it's So I don't take issue with compensation offers because again we don't have all the details of everything, right? But maybe what I'm just very puzzled is how everyone is just jumping on what great service recovery is, amazing SQ, because we don't have the information, guys. Like, don't remember, these are corporations. These are not people that you're praising. A corporation answers to no one but its bottom line, right? Whereas the individuals who were paralyzed from the chest down or had lost loved ones and all that, they're affected for life, right?
Yeah.
And they are, and that's how traumatic it is for them, So yeah, I think we can pull back a little bit on the praise, right?
Yeah. So I mean, on like Facebook is really all positive, and even when someone did point out, given under the Montreal Convention, they are entitled up to XXX amount. One might ask whether these amounts are reasonable. There are a lot of people rebutting that statement and coming out in defense of SIA. Again, like the way SIA has done this is probably better than many airlines.
Yeah.
But it's like, come on lah, like just maybe just like once, now that you know that the people might be able to claim up to 175,000, how does that shape your thinking lah?
Yeah.
So
yeah, tough one,
man. But I mean, this case is fast developing, right? The good thing is SIA didn't take like a month to come out with it.
Yeah.
And I think there are certain things they did very well, because the longer you take to come out with a statement, the more people will have questions. And given that this got international attention, it was covered globally. And in some ways, Singapore Airlines is setting the benchmark for how airlines should treat things like this happening going forward.
Yeah, that's
right.
true.
So what they do is also potentially going to set the precedent. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, like just now that you know that amount might be possible, how does that make you feel, man? Or what does that make you think?
The amount, you mean the
No, I'm saying that's general to the listeners.
Oh, okay, to listeners.
Yeah, I heard your opinion already, Terence.
Yeah, enough already. Yeah,
enough already.
I know when to hold back. I know. But yeah, like this isn't the best PR, but I guess you can say SQ is trying to do the best in service recovery and juju away the bad PR, right? But not all bad PR is necessarily bad, right? Not all bad PR is bad, as one business in Singapore is showing now. They're getting a lot of publicity for an advertisement that they put out. And what is this business and what is the advertisement?
Before I mention that, Terence, I believe the saying is there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Oh, yeah, correct. Sorry.
What do you say? Bad publicity is never really bad publicity.
Yeah.
Come on, Terence.
Sorry. I forgot all those boomer sayings.
That's right.
No cap.
No cap. You ate, you ate it.
Yeah, I ate all these like Gen Z slang.
Yeah, you ate it.
So
now you gets.
Yeah, I gets.
Yeah, Tristan doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, all the boomer slang and all that. It's not my thing.
Not your thing. Not your thing. Yeah, but basically the company in question is Circles.Life, the telco in
Circles.Life.
Circles.Life. Circles.Life. And they had an ad that they released online that essentially, starts off with like a middle-aged woman sleeping very comfortably in a bed, and then there are sounds of like two people having sex.
Yeah.
Then she wakes up, and then it cuts to a young boy on his phone watching like a couple undressing and like kissing quite aggressively against a wall. And then the person who I assume is his mom comes down the stairs, and for some reason he clicks screen mirroring. And it appears on the TV screen in front of him.
I think he's trying to keep the phone in his pocket and he accidentally clicks screen mirroring.
Yeah. So it appears on the TV in front of him in the hall.
Yeah.
So the mom comes down, like with furrowed brows and all. But instead of scolding him, she just says, do your own thing. Then she passes him like headphones and says, don't stay up too late.
Yeah.
And then, so basically the mom is saying, okay, you want to watch your hanky-panky stuff, it's fine. Do your own thing. But just use headphones.
Yeah.
So it's been a little polarizing. It's gotten a good amount of coverage. And some people are saying, this was fucking terrible. It's inappropriate. I was watching YouTube with my family when this ad came up.
Yeah.
And there's still sexual sounds, right?
Yeah.
Whereas some other people are saying, hey, I mean, this day and age, sex is more openly talked about. Why not? In fact, it's showing like a progressive family. What do you think, Terence?
I mean, firstly, I think when I watched the ad, I had to watch certain parts of it over and over again. Like you at that, I was a little confused as to why he hit screen mirroring. And the edit, you can't really tell that he pressed it or hit it. It just like, so they show it and then it turns on,
Yeah.
Then I rewatched those few parts and then I kind of pieced it together. So that comes down to the continuity in editing. I think the continuity in editing is not great, right?
Yeah.
That's it. I think they are trying to make a very snappy commercial about this slightly cheekier topic.
Yeah.
I mean, okay I get it. It's not fully in line with what I think that they're trying to sell in terms of do your own thing. Because if you go to their website, you go to their YouTube channel and watch the other videos that they do, they're a lot more like wholesome, I would say. Family friendly and wholesome. This one is a bit more of like, okay, you're doing something that, could potentially be embarrassing for yourself, but do your own thing. Whereas the others are more like, celebrate the small wins in your life, do your own thing. Yeah. So also a bit misaligned with what I think the thrust of the campaign is, but it also has got the most views
Yeah.
amongst all the videos so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I think about it. But how about you? You love it. You love the ad.
I mean, okay, so Circles.Life has a reputation of doing stuff that is a bit more out there.
Yeah.
And I mean, full disclosure, we also did an ad for
Long
Circles.Life
time,
long time ago
Yeah.
when we were still active on YouTube via Ministry of Funny.
Yeah.
In some way, also like kind of trying to do something a bit out there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, okay, that's the context. I think it's one of those things. The only thing that I found unideal is like, when you're watching YouTube on TV with your family, this one has a very audible sex sounds, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like right now with my mom living with me and my wife, even like sometimes, I don't know, the latest season of Bridgerton, there's a lot of sex.
Yeah.
So you have to watch on like, I mean, it's just a weird moment if you're watching, then the door opens and your mom comes out.
Yeah.
So it just feels like, okay it could be awkward. Although part of me is like, hey, fuck, we're all old enough. Not to say that I'll just play it like while she's having a tea or something.
Yeah.
But it just, I can imagine the awkwardness when you are watching with your family. Some people might not be as comfortable.
Yeah.
So, but the ad itself, I mean, I thought it's like, at least it's something different. Sometimes when you see so many ads in Singapore, when it's all just sanitized, so like similar, it's nice to have something refreshing like this. So I actually think, interesting ad.
Yeah, I wasn't too disturbed by the ad.
Yeah.
But I can empathize with the people who are complaining that they were watching YouTube with their family and then this came up. But then I think then it's a fault of either YouTube or the media agency that was doing the media buying for them, right? We're setting the guidelines and restrictions of age limits of what who this content can be targeted to, right? Unfortunately, at the same time, also, if let's say someone's mom or dad is watching YouTube logged into their own private account,
it's the age, right?
Yeah, it's going to be there. And the kids, while trying to watch an episode of Bluey or something, that's going to come up, right? Or Coco Melon or something that's going to come up. And maybe not the ad itself, but there is a scene of like basically a man almost on top of a woman. It looks like he's on top of her because of the orientation of the screen, right? But actually,
they're against the wall.
Yeah, they're standing vertically against the wall and he's shirtless and they're making out and everything. So that image itself might be a bit age inappropriate for younger children, because it will stir up questions and things like that.
But does that qualify as porn?
I mean, it's a lead up to soft porn.
It's a gateway. It's a gateway.
It's a gateway. No, but this ad is clearly saying that it's like something like porn, right? Okay, that's one part of it, right?
I mean, maybe he just wants to watch people kissing.
Maybe making out, But again, about age appropriateness, right? Whether it's appropriate. Like, let's say that looks like pretty. You're hearing the sounds and all that. That sounds like pretty hardcore. Not say hardcore, but something core action, right? Softcore, hardcore, whatever.
Softcore.
So
and
that's
not safe for work, NSFW.
Yeah. Correct. And the other aspect of it also is in Singapore, porn is supposed to be illegal, so right?
Yeah.
So in some ways, extrapolating from the embarrassment that this guy is supposed to be feeling, you're sort of implying that this young kid is watching porn, doing something illegal in Singapore.
But at the same time, there are TV shows that have similar scenes like that I don't think qualify as porn.
True.
So maybe he's just watching, I don't know, what's a movie with a steamy scene?
I mean, Game of Thrones.
But Game of Thrones is still M18.
Yeah, correct.
I'm pretty sure there are certain shows where it can get a bit racy because, I mean, like, there's no... I think the guy is topless in the video, but there's no nudity, right?
There's no nudity.
Yeah, so I think there was...
there's the guy, you can see the guy's shirtless, so there's nudity in some way.
Yeah, but I mean, you also see shirtless guys running on the park connector, right? Yeah. So that's why, like, Marketing Interactive, they say Circles.Life's latest ad with boy watching porn raises eyebrows. He's not watching, I mean, you can't qualify that as porn. It might just be like a movie scene where there is some, like, undressing. Maybe after that, the rest of the movie was, like, talking about living a wholesome life and all that.
So I'll admit, to verify whether they're trying to imply that boy is watching porn, I froze the video at a point where you can see his pants, whether there's a bulge or anything,
okay,
while he's sitting down. And then there isn't.
There isn't.
I mean, it looks like normal.
You mean the boy, is it?
Yeah. Because that is like the typical joke, right? Like you when you watch this kind of like skits about a boy being caught watching porn or something. Usually, like whether it's American Pie or something, you would see this kind of scene, lah, right?
Bulge, lah.
A little bulge, right? But there's
Yeah.
no bulge, so you could be right, lah, that
He's just watching a movie.
it's not necessarily porn, and it's again, people running with the idea that he's watching porn.
Yeah, exactly. If it was like porn, where they even mosaic some of the stuff, then I would be like, okay, then like if a young kid watches it,
Correct.
maybe they haven't been exposed to that much internet. I don't know how that's possible in this day and age. Then they see like, oh shit, I can use my phone to watch that.
Yeah.
It's like opening new things. But this one, honestly, like some I don't know whether MediaCorp shows do it. But some TV shows, I'm pretty sure even on like free to air, there are scenes like this.
Yeah. And to CSI even deeper, when you look at his phone when he's watching the thing, they use the YouTube bar, basically the bar of buttons that YouTube has at the bottom of the app. So implying that it's meant to be like YouTube,
Yeah.
And not Pornhub or something, right? And YouTube has no porn, right? So essentially, everyone who's saying it's porn is also, basically you are extrapolating on your own accord, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe you are the ones who have watched porn to know that is the gateway to porn. But maybe they just went inside the room and they had dinner. They just had a little bit of makeout. And they went in the room, talked about, life and philosophy.
Correct. And the sound that you hear at the start, it could, maybe it's not even necessarily from a porn scene or anything, right?
Yeah. Honestly, like, when my wife was following some exercise video, with like a female instructor, the sounds that the instructor was making, it sounded damn sexual.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Do you watch also? Or what?
I mean,
you're in the peak.
I stopped my workout. I was like, what are you watching? Because it's like sounds of exertion. Be it guy, be it girl. In this case, it was a female instructor. Then I was like, whoa, shit. Is that part of the appeal?
Yeah.
And even if you go on Instagram and all, like you see videos where people are working out and they make noises like that. So yeah, I think this ad actually, in fact, I think it's a cheeky ad that kind of like went very close to the line, but didn't really cross it, lah.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
But so what do you think of all those people who are complaining about it on YouTube,
I mean, I'm guessing for Circles.Life it's great because it improves the engagement.
Yeah.
But apparently Circles.Life also had a press release about the campaign and kind of explained their choice of the ad.
Yeah.
And they said that they actually based it on research done in partnership with Milieu Insights that found that a vast majority of Singaporeans across age groups favor open conversations around sex and sex education. So, I mean, in some ways it's interesting that they have this marketing campaign, but they ran a survey to kind of like say, hey, this is based on research. Which I found a bit interesting. And they say our ad puts a twist on parenting, showing an open-minded and unconventional reaction to an awkward situation. But I mean, I don't know how I would react to, let's say in future. I don't know what the hell racy stuff will look like in future.
Yeah.
But in a similar situation, I don't know whether I'll be that like, hey, just use your headphones or VR headset.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a bit weird, lah.
I think like what I get what Circles.Life is trying to do or trying to say. But the survey interviews young adults about having open conversations about sexual education. But remember, this ad is a mass ad. It targets everyone. It's not targeted to that particular group or that more progressive group or what. So you will encounter people with different mindsets that will not, in spite of whatever you show them in terms of evidence from the survey, they're not going to believe it or even side with you on it. So you will rile them up, right? And I mean, this is Pride Month, so maybe that was this is Circles.Life's attempt at making something relevant that is relevant to discussions people are having. And but they've succeeded in getting people discussing it.
And maybe they serve the ads to only people who have watched this kind of content on YouTube. So then maybe like if you see it pop up, you're like, oh shit, is this one of my recommended videos? Oh shit, like because there've been certain times in the past, I think like be it with friends or like someone puts it up on screen to play a YouTube video. Then the next few videos that come up, you can tell what kind of videos they were watching beforehand.
Or if you share an account with your family or something, right? We not even family, but within us, like within our Yalabat channel. Because our Yalabat channel, we all go in to like update stuff here and there, post stuff, Tristan, you, me, all that. But once in a while, when you go in as a consumer, and then the algorithm feeds you some videos to watch, then you're like
using the Yalabat
account. Then it's very. Sometimes I'm like, I definitely am not watching videos about this. So why is the algorithm feeding?
And then because there's three of us, there's like diffusion of blame, right?
Diffusion of responsibility. Like, who's into this? Who's been watching all these bikini videos and all that?
I know last time also with another teammate, I think we found out that like using our Yalabat Instagram account, there were a lot of likes on like thirst trap pictures.
That was you lah.
That was not me. It was not.
You were like, there were only two people who were using Instagram.
No, I swear. First of all, I generally don't like stuff on Instagram.
Oh, really?
Dude. No, to set the record straight, it was not me. Okay?
Okay.
It was, you act so high and mighty. Maybe that's your defense mechanism. It was not me.
I'm already like, I go on the Yalabat Instagram. I know. But now it's already been like, it's like a tsunami of like bikini pictures already. No. Someone's habits are so like.
For my own browsing, I use my own account.
Okay?
And what the account I'm talking about was our MOF account. So it was pre-Yalabat.
Okay, pre-Yalabat.
Yeah, so it was not me. It was not me. It was a mystery for all of us. But I think in the end, we found out who was the liker.
Okay. But it's okay. You're a connoisseur. It's okay to be a connoisseur of bikini photos, right?
Yeah, it's okay. But like when you are kind of like framing me for something I didn't do, regardless of whether it deals with being a connoisseur for bikini photos, I have to clarify my name.
It's okay. Young adults are increasingly open to discussing sexual education. So don't be such a boomer. It's okay. You like to look at bikini photos, it's okay. You can just say.
I mean, I won't deny I enjoy the bikini photos. So
nice bodies, everyone nice bodies, guys, girls also.
Guys, girls, everything is like a work of art,
Yeah. It's okay. So don't need to be
Terrence, I'm just saying it is the framing of me as being the prime suspect in the little mystery, which was found to not be me.
Okay. Not me. Your intensive investigations uncovered the truth, the perpetrator.
Uncovered the truth. The serial liker.
Yeah.
The serial liker.
But the algorithm, correct. It might be feeding this to people who actually watch this kind of stuff, really.
Yeah, man.
So I think we don't have a big issue with the content, right? But maybe it's just how or who it's fed to that's the problem.
Yeah. But yeah, man. So those were the topics. Onto our final few segments. The one Shiok comment of the week. The past few days.
Yeah, I think mine was from Reddit. The last discussion that we had about singles being blamed for the lack of babies in Singapore. And I think Jungle Jimbo, long-time listener and commenter and champion of the subreddit, he did give bonus points for various things that were said. But more importantly, I think he actually validated that, me talking about the sickle cell anemia example, although it was completely out of place and wrong, but it was still something interesting to listen to and to read out about. And he provided links in his comment about it as well. So thanks for that, because I think it is a very interesting thing. And that's why I hope more people can read out about it also.
But did you go back and read to clarify your own understanding,
I think I was just basically taking two concepts within the same psychology course and then sort of like
superimposing them.
Blending them together when they they're not supposed to be blended together.
I see. My one Shiok comment is also on that same thread. It was a comment by available_@9766. So basically, like they shared a link from singstat.gov.sg about the data on marriage rates, and even though it was only on residents, not citizens, I always appreciate it when people dig deeper and share links related to what we were talking about that even we didn't come across. But basically, like across the thread, people were kind of seeing the same sentiment, that also it felt like a one-sided argument, and like where are the stats for males who are married. So anyone who finds an additional link to supplement the conversation, always appreciated. Yeah, so that was my one Shiok comment. What about your one Shiok thing, man?
Cool. My one Shiok thing is a trailer for a game that came out recently, a reveal trailer. It's called Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. So they're creating a retro style Power Rangers game in a beat 'em up style. Remember the Streets of Rage, that kind of style, by Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And then it looks pretty cool. It's all the 8-bit graphics and cheesy music and all the different color rangers with their different abilities. And obviously, for any Power Rangers thing, there has to be a scene of them summoning, what's the robot called? Megazord. Yeah. And so they have that in the game, and it looks pretty awesome. Yeah.
What's the name of the game?
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind.
Who's Rita?
The villain, the female villain that's on the moon and everything.
Oh.
Yeah. You don't watch Power Rangers?
I watched long time ago.
Correct.
She's the big boss, right?
Yeah, she's the one that always summons all
the big monsters.
The big monsters, yeah. But she's just mostly on the moon and everything.
I see.
Yeah. Which is actually, I think you've read out a little bit about Power Rangers in recent times. Quite interesting story, right?
Yeah,
which at some point we will probably tell people about it.
It has to do with a new little thing we're cooking.
Yeah. We're cooking something. Yeah.
Cooking.
But yeah, what is your one Shiok thing?
My one Shiok thing is just the recent spate of European friendlies that have been taking place in preparation for Euro 2024. Of course, the fact that Portugal beat Ireland yesterday and Cristiano Ronaldo scoring 2 goals is a nice touch. But I'm genuinely excited for Euro 2024. Yeah, because I think the last time there was a competition like this was the World Cup, right?
Yeah.
And it feels like at this point in time there's no real clear favorite. Compared to maybe even the World Cup, I'm a bit more aware of who are the players to look out for. So yeah, I'm excited.
Where are the Euros taking place?
Germany.
I
so it'll still be the time zone difference.
Yeah.
But actually, in addition to Euros, there's the Olympics. Wimbledon is still happening and all, right?
Yeah, Wimbledon.
Yeah, so it feels like the next couple of months going to be exciting when it comes to sports.
So you're still supporting Ronaldo?
Yeah, I
still want to see Portugal win.
Yeah.
Why can't just let a new generation take it?
I mean, this is probably his last international tournament already. He's 39 though.
I know.
And I will always have a soft spot for Cristiano Ronaldo, even though he can be an asshole.
Yeah, but maybe he's overstayed his welcome already. You don't think?
I mean, that's not for me to decide. If he's playing, I want to see him play.
Yeah. You don't want to see young.
Of course, I want to see young players.
To the plate.
But because he's playing doesn't mean young players are not playing. Young players play.
Yeah.
Young players play.
Yeah.
But if he does well, it'd be nice.
Yeah. It's happening in tennis. Nadal and Djokovic both got, basically, Nadal got kicked out in the first round and Djokovic got injured, during Roland Garros. But the young players are stepping up. As in they're playing entertaining tennis. I think that's something that I was like, once Roger Federer retires, there'll be nothing entertaining. But these guys are entertaining.
There was that worry, right? There'll be a vacuum.
There'll be this vacuum, but maybe they're not as dominant.
Yeah.
But maybe that's what the sport needs after a few years of this big 4, big 3 dominance. We need a bit more of a chaos and a bit more people taking chances and all that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean, I like Ronaldo's style and everything, but sometimes, after, especially last few years, what he did at Man U, Saudi Arabia, and all these things.
What did you do in Saudi Arabia?
Nothing, just the whole.
Just played football and scored a shit ton of goals.
And then,
but another thing.
Win and everything,
But I mean, it's not all about winning there.
No, but then also watching, even we watched the FA Cup final last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And Bruno, stepping up to the plate and, being really creating great chances.
Yeah.
You feel like, hey, maybe it's time for Portugal also to have new.
I mean,
the mental.
They can still do that. But if you think about it, another reason is Ronaldo's 39 now. Don't you find it inspiring that there's still people out there who are still giving their all at that age?
Yeah. But sometimes, they're saying you either die hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
Yeah, which Ronaldo has become at certain points.
In some ways, some people are saying that about LeBron James now. I used to, big on him and all. But now all this, I feel like he's almost getting in the way of his own son trying to play basketball. and the amount of pressure that his own son is facing in
His son is
this
playing
upcoming
already,
draft.
right?
He's in the draft.
Or is it in a draft?
But a lot of people are like just making jokes about him, about how, teams will sign him just so that they can sign his dad, for a year or two. And the son itself seems to be, he has said things that reflect like, hey, please don't judge me by what my dad, this, that, and all that. And I'm like, it's a bit like, maybe, it's a bit selfish, somewhat, in wanting to prove yourself at 39 years old, and then after that,
But what's wrong?
You're making it so difficult for the next generation to step up.
Then then the next generation has to work harder, lah. Why must they be given the easy path? Like, if you're saying the reason that it makes it harder for the next generation to step up, that one I got no sympathy at all, man.
Okay.
You are already given the privilege to perform at the highest level on a global scale and make that your career. Sorry, man, if it means you have to fight against these people who don't want to give up, I'm all for it. In fact, it's nice to see them clash.
No, but sometimes it's to do that. I mean, it's not all about. It's not just a black and white thing. It's entirely just about his performance also, right? It's a lot of other things also, like team dynamics, how he affects the team as a whole, and everything, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, what he did at Man United also left quite a bitter taste in even very hardcore fans' mouths, right? Where you quit by basically going on, like, getting Piers Morgan to hand in your resignation letter for you, Yeah. Those kind of things upset a team dynamic. And as a big Man U fan, I'm sure at some point you felt like he took a fish and slapped you in the face with it.
But I mean, to me, Portugal, like, I got less allegiance to Portugal than Manchester United.
Oh, yeah, okay.
In fact, if watching the team kind of evolve and see whether they can play with him while the young stars can perform, I'm all for it, Terence.
Yeah.
It's not mutually exclusive. Maybe he might. That's something that Zlatan did very well towards his later part, right? He didn't start every game, but he still had a lot of impact. He retired as a legend, But did it stop younger players from coming up, Terence? No.
Yeah, but that's why I'm interested to see how he performs at this.
Yeah,
Portugal. Not say performs in terms of how he plays, but whether there'll be the tantrums and stuff like that, when he gets subbed off, like,
exactly,
kind of thing.
Yeah. So I mean, in essence, would you prefer Euro 2024 without Ronaldo or with Ronaldo?
Maybe without.
Really? Yeah.
I just want to see what this new generation is up to, and it's my own personal biases also.
Yeah.
Like with tennis also, I was like, for a long time I was like, I'm never going to watch tennis again. But then when I watched the French Open, I was like, oh, these guys are entertaining, they're fun, and personality and all that, and it's more about me not giving them a chance because I held up all those stars to such high regard,
Yeah, then it's you not being open-minded,
Correct.
I want to see the young Portugal come up.
I don't know.
I also want to see Ronaldo.
Not everyone is as magnanimous and open-minded as
exactly,
you are.
I
So
know.
I'm saying for a whole generation of people, maybe it's just better that we just move on from the Messi Ronaldo debates. And
you can move on. No one is stopping you from moving on. But doesn't mean that they also have to move on. They live their own choices, You can have your own reactions to it, and clearly you do. So I'm sorry that Euro 2024 is going to be less enjoyable for you.
No, it's still enjoyable. But nowadays I'm like with Man U, I love watching Man U because there was so many ups and downs.
Schadenfreude.
So in some way, Ronaldo being there
Portugal
will also provide some drama.
Exactly. Provide some drama.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, Terence, that's my one Shiok thing.
Yeah.
It remains my one Shiok thing.
The Euros in general remain your one Shiok thing.
Euros,
I was just asking you about your reverence for Ronaldo, like how come it's still so high and everything, you see?
Yeah, I mean, it will always be high. Like, to me, he's done annoying shit.
Yeah.
But I will never forget the feeling I had just watching him go from 17-year-old to global superstar. Yeah, and I don't. Maybe you didn't experience that, Terence.
But yeah, I did. I watched it.
But Man U fan, what?
Oh yeah. I'm not the fair weather Man U one that only supported them when they were winning.
Hey, I mean, the level of support wavered, yes, but still support there, lah. Anyway, Terence. Yeah.
It's okay.
I'm sticking. Don't say this. It's okay thing.
No, I say a lot of people will be very bored of this discussion already.
No. Whenever people say that, right, after they finish a debate, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, shut up, okay? It's like you're just making it seem like, oh, it's okay that I will not shut up and you will come away the benevolent man, lah.
No, I'm excited for the Euros. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, if you're listening, you go on YouTube, you look at Terence's face now. Tell me that doesn't reek of smugness.
No, but okay, I guess the difference is that you're excited for Euros because you genuinely want to see Portugal, Ronaldo, that kind of thing. But for me, it's like, I want to like maybe a bit of Schadenfreude also to see what happens.
No, but I also want to see other teams. Like England is damn exciting.
Exactly.
Don't know whether they're going to underperform
or
if they
they're going
always
to fire
do.
their coach.
France with Mbappe.
Yeah.
Even Belgium. So yeah, a lot of exciting teams. Germany, Spain.
Yeah.
So yeah, Terence, it's going to be fun.
Okay. It'll be fun. Yeah.
Cool.
Shiok.
Shiok. So yeah, thanks for listening. And remember, follow us on social media. If you'd like to give us a rating on Spotify or Apple iTunes, that would be great. And if you want to work with us,
go to ministryoffunny.com, see everything that we do, and find a way to contact us there as well.
Cool. Thanks for listening, everybody.